to Open Collar. I am Cory Willis, alongside the returning undisputed champion of the world, Michelle Chef.
Is Ali like
His triumphant
Is
our
Ali
prodigal son
return?
return. And with us is one Ryan Allen Karkner Esquire, the third.
Supposed to be looking at a watch or something?
Supposed to be promoting something right now.
Yeah, crap.
He's promoting open closet doors.
There we go.
It's never closed.
That's their slogan.
If I'm on this podcast,
We are never closed.
if I'm on this podcast and you see that closet closed, something's wrong. I've killed someone.
It's
Whoa,
call the
dark.
police.
You went dark.
Save that for the After Dark special.
This is his alibi.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. What did everybody want to be when they grew up? I'm assuming podcast hosts.
Well, and barring that, astronaut.
I was told many times when I was a kid that I always said I would threaten to run away from home and join the WWF.
That's
No,
still
WWE.
true today.
Not the WWE.
That was yes. That
Well,
was
I wanted to
yesterday.
save those pandas. I'm all about saving pandas and all of the other wildlife.
I wanted to be a taxi driver when I was a kid. I really set the bar high.
Is it because of the show Taxi?
I don't think it was.
Probably not.
I love the show Taxi.
Not at that age, anyways.
Yeah.
You know, you can still do that.
I can't. That's the
It's
beautiful
It's
thing
never too
about that
late to
dream.
really
It's
realize
really
your
not-
dream.
Who would have thought, like, you had like 5, 6 years old, just really aiming low, just setting the bar at achievable, attainable goals.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Keep it realistic, you know? Shit, kid.
Yeah, you'll never let yourself down.
I haven't yet.
Well,
Well, you know.
Depends on how you look at it, right? Like, I didn't become a taxi driver, so as achievable as that goal was, I actually still, by definition, fell short.
it's like the equivalent of the remote's next to you, but you still don't want to reach it, get the tap, and again, change the channel.
I guess this is
All the way
fine.
over there.
I don't mind this commercial, I guess.
It's the power of pine sol. So we are 15 minutes away from the Washington Capitals winning the Stanley Cup.
How do we
right.
all feel about that?
I'm fine.
I'm happy about it, actually.
Well, to be truthful, could not
Indifferent.
care less. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm out different. I don't be indifferent, but yeah, no, I don't. It'd be nice for Ovi, but at the same time, I don't care one way. Truthfully,
I think this is the outcome that fits the NHL best, and Cory and I talked about this last week.
it's what they needed.
It's just better this way.
They've saved the league's future by having a 40-plus-year-old franchise win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
That actually, built a
For the first
roster.
time ever in life.
Yeah, pretty much.
The good thing is, I guess, has years and years and years to.
Do they though? Because like I was talking to a guy at work today that they're a roster built around like RFAs and expiring contracts. That's why these guys were available.
So then next year, there's just a chance that
Just shit the bed.
like half the team is gone.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like we're talking like I'm sure there's like nobody really that like bought a house or settling down, moving their families to the desert when their contracts could be up
Right.
this year, next year.
But it could also be the same where this year has kind of increased their confidence in the team, and so a bunch of them might stick around
Possibly.
if they, if they think that a lot of people are also going to stick around. Then if they think they can repeat this run, they might just stay and try again in Vegas.
At the same time, do you think the league wants Washington to lose so they're not celebrating a cup victory in Vegas?
No, I think that would actually be good for the
Just like
league.
how many players are gonna like die for alcohol poisoning or gamble away their losses? Like someone's gonna bet the cup on
Have you
zero.
seen the pre-game festivities in Washington?
Yes, in Washington or in Vegas.
Yeah, the
Both.
Vegas ones are like
Awesome.
Medieval
crazy.
times.
It's insane.
Washington has Shaggy.
Well,
From Scooby Doo.
No, not even. That would be better.
Just zoiks everywhere.
Shaggy and Sting. And then I can't remember what they had the last time.
wasn't Little John somewhere?
He was in Vegas. That was the Vegas
Yeah,
festivities.
that was the Vegas one.
Yeah, obviously. And then
Classic.
Washington's answer to that was Shaggy, apparently.
Shaggy.
I'll
That's,
see your medieval times reenactments and raise you Shaggy.
Yeah. Who can we
Terrible.
get on a moment's notice? Is Shaggy busy?
Wasn't him.
It ended up being him. It was him.
But
What
speaking
about-
of ending things? We're
Just
what?
gonna
Is it?
say-
Is it Friday? Friday where
I think
the
it's
Golden State sweeps it?
tomorrow. Yep.
Tomorrow.
I don't
Friday,
think they'll
Saturday?
sweep. I think Cleveland will get one, but that's as much as they're getting.
I think they get swept.
Get the Swiffers.
Yeah, it's
That's
done.
my thinking.
And then LeBron doesn't stay in Cleveland next year. That's what's happening. You heard it here first.
Or
Today,
like weeks
you're
ago,
first day.
or months ago, in so many
Or
places.
whenever
The
it
start
goes.
of the season,
Basically anywhere else.
when he entered the final year of his contract, didn't he have a player option that he opted for this to be his final year?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that.
So he opted out of his final year, so that making this year's final year.
But
I'm starting reading articles and listening to some of the experts. I think he ends up in Houston.
really,
I think he wants to win, and I think to do so, he wants to beat Golden State before the final rather than in the final.
yeah,
Rather than take the easy road to get there, he just wants to,
beat them, get it
Beat
out of the
them.
way, and then have the easy road.
and then just sit
Afterwards.
back and not have to score 51 a game to win.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
even
they're
then,
scoring-
it's not a certainty that they'll win, even with him getting 51.
Well, it's true because they didn't.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I
Mr.
would be down with that because that would mean a new champion probably, and then Harden also gets his due, which I think
And
he
Chris
needs.
if Chris Paul stays there too.
And it's
Yeah,
healthy.
and Chris Paul.
Yeah, he's got 2 functioning hamstrings.
That's all you need.
You know what? Just throw a couple extras in there just in case.
Yeah, I just
Why not?
get some extra hamstrings in there.
Yeah,
Put them next to the phalanges.
Get some shoulder strings. But yeah, I think that's what's going to be his move. I don't think he wants to be somewhere and build up. I think he wants to win now and then
Yeah,
win a couple
retire.
more times and be done. That's my thinking.
I think Houston would be a good place for that to happen for him.
And just think of the Houston we have, LeBron, like memes and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. What did you guys watch any of the last 3 games or highlights?
I watched a
or
total
anything?
of 0. I guess if you count the amount of times
Highlights.
I've seen them talk about the J.R. Smith stuff from game 1, I've
Yeah,
probably seen like
that
4
was-
games.
That was ridiculous. I couldn't believe the ending of that game. But
Yeah, I think that marked the end of LeBron James's tenure with the Cavs.
yeah, just
Just
his
that picture of him, like the fuck.
Yeah, I know. That was so good. There's so many good memes that came out of that picture, and even just him walking into the locker room after regulation, he looked like he was gonna just kill someone, and then they lost it in overtime. But like the game could have, or the entire series actually could have been so different. If those 4 seconds had played out just a little bit differently. And then after that, it was kind of like he was done. He was just dejected, and really nothing he could do was gonna win them a champion now. or championship.
What made me sad was the fact that he walked out with a bag that was worth more than I make a year.
Oh, that alligator bag.
God.
So Greg Thanks gets up in his short pantsuit and
God, it didn't even look good.
His ladies' man bag.
It didn't even look good. It looked awful.
The bag or everything?
Everything. The whole outfit.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Doesn't matter. He can wear whatever he wants.
I guess so.
Well, I find it funny he's walking around with a $45,000 bag and then hear how cheap he is and like will have his phone turned off when he's like in Jamaica or something because he doesn't want to pay roaming charges.
Not really.
That's how you get the bag, man. Got to save money somewhere.
It's true.
I guess your luxuries in life, Cory.
Do I get
this
Instagram post? Do I get this $42,000? Was it Gucci or?
I don't know. I just know it was made of real gator.
Gator golf?
Lacoste, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought you were a fashion guy. That's why we keep you in. Like we can see all your clothes.
I wore a Rona t-shirt 2 weeks ago.
I remember that.
I remember that conversation.
We should reconsider this this whole Ryan situation.
I think you picked me for the wrong reasons.
Trying to think of the right reasons.
Witty banter.
No, that's true. And the looks. Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, we need that stoned look.
Everyone, I've been turned around at bars being like, yeah, man, like you're done. You can't come in. I was like, I was the designated driver. The hell? Yeah, I don't know. It's just the look I give, I guess.
It's a juice bar.
Yeah, it was Jamba Juice. It wasn't even a bar.
People have resting bitch face.
Hold on. Freaking wheatgrass.
Turning me away from my berry.
Did you guys see those a-hole Star Wars fans causing some shit on the?
Yeah. What is up with that? What is up with not just that specifically, but in general.
Well, like we were talking a bit about the Wars of the Stars last week, and like I'm not gonna lie, I do have a lot of problems with some of the things that happened with the Last Jedi. I for one don't know why everyone's freaking over how Luke's arc was portrayed, because if you really think about the character and the progression of the story, like he was let down by everything he learned was supposed to be like the Force itself. Like he was like this. Yeah, like this is like when he finds Obi-Wan and he teaches him, he's so excited because this is gonna be his chance to, get out of Tatooine and become this great thing. But then he meets Yoda, and he gets like reality sets in. He learns about the dark side of everything, and then when it comes to his own flesh and blood turning, like he gave up. Like it makes sense. Like the happy-go-lucky Luke should not be what we see in Last Jedi. So why people are losing their nuts over that, I don't understand. But to go after the makers of the movies and actresses, and like that's just ridiculous. Like what the hell happened to these basement dweller nerds?
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, if you look long enough or hard enough, or sometimes not even that hard, you can find something wrong with anything, for sure. Like, best movie in the world, and there's gonna be a group of people that find something wrong with it, right?
It's their job.
And yeah, exactly. It's their, that's part of it. And but to just like personally attack someone for doing their thing and making the movie or acting in the movie or doing whatever, like what does that solve? There's a lot of discussion around how a movie can be good, how it was bad, plot holes, all that kind of stuff. Like we talked about it a couple episodes ago for the Avengers spoiler cast. There's the movie wasn't perfect, but it was great. But I don't know, us kind of attacking the actors or the directors or the producers, writers, set guys, like whoever, doesn't make the movie any better. I don't understand It's just like it's a bullying situation, right? But it just doesn't add anything.
Well, I think I've said it before. Like, we live in an age now where with social media, everyone's got their own soapbox that they can stand on, and what they say is scripture, and what you disagree with, I'm going to tear you down for.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have a agree to disagree anymore. We don't have I respect your opinion, but here's why I think my opinion is correct. Like, we don't have anything like that. We have, I'm right, you're wrong, you don't like it, I'm going to bully you until either A, you're gone, or B, something prevents me from talking on the internet anymore.
Or I'm in Jamaica and my roaming's off.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
or I have to make a couple phantom accounts so I can continue to attack you.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happened with, the actress. I forget her name, but she pretty much just deleted.
Yeah, Kelly Marie Tran is her name. Yeah.
She didn't just delete her Instagram account. She just deleted her Instagram posts so no one could comment on it for a little while, and then she'll probably hop back on there eventually. But like, that's not fun. Why would you? And then there was a bunch of people on Twitter once that happened. They were like calling it a win, celebrating the victory of, pretty much getting to the actress. Like, why? What is that?
Yeah, it doesn't change the movie. The movie's still the same.
Yeah, it's just as bad as you thought it was.
Not gonna like it. Yeah.
And it's not like the writers are going to be like, oh man, a lot of people really don't like her, let's remake the entire movie without her.
Well, if it was George Lucas, he might actually do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Just CGI someone else.
He'll add 17 other things to it, though.
Yeah, and another thing, like, one of my complaints with that movie was, like, the arc for her character didn't seem justified at the end. Like, okay, she doesn't trust Finn, which, like, why would you?
Come on.
Didn't trust Finn at, like, when she first encountered him, and then of course but then she, like, I don't know if directly, but it's like perceived that she's like in love with him towards the end of the movie. So it's like when he wants to sacrifice himself for the greater good, she decides, no, you can't do that. Which again doesn't really make sense because she doesn't know him.
My whole deal with that scene was she could have killed them both by like, ramming her ship into his ship and then hitting the ground. Like, luckily they both survived, but like that kind of crash could have killed both of them and then not helped out the their team at all in the first place. Like, that was my issue with it.
It's like in Spider-Man 2 where Peter's talking to MJ and Doc throws a cab through the restaurant. Like,
yeah,
you're there to get Peter to tell it to go get Spider-Man while you kidnap her. You could have easily just killed them right there, and then what are you going to do with the rest of your plan?
Yeah.
It's like, shit, I didn't know I was going to hit them with that cab.
God, I figured his spider sense would help him out a little bit.
All right, well, on to the next kidnapping scenario. Ryan?
Yes.
Still with us?
I am.
Okay. But if you want to talk about more fandom and complaining about things, we had a lot of trailers drop the past couple of days.
A lot of good ones.
I don't know, Ryan, if you've been on the YouTubes and seen anything, but we're going to open things up with probably maybe the most, I was going to say controversial, but I'm going to more like more division on the Bumblebee trailer. Do you see that one?
I'm still thinking of the one that was like voiced by Jerry Seinfeld. Is it that one?
That's a B movie.
That is the B movie.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Then no.
That was the last one I saw.
Like, trailer period, or
I don't think I saw the actual movie. I think I'd be kind of upset with myself if I did.
No, the B movie's good.
Was it?
I mean, it's not an A movie, but
it's a B movie.
It's a B movie.
Nice.
We just lost all our viewers on that one.
Yeah.
We had viewers.
Good night, everybody. So this is a prequel, right? We're We're years
Yes.
before.
This is a
Shia
movie
LaBeouf.
set years before anybody found out about any sort of Autobots, Decepticons, Transformers, yet there's Autobots and Decepticons and Transformers.
Everywhere.
But no one's ever heard of them up until Shia LaBeouf's movie, but this is before that.
So are the writers just getting sloppy, or are we just?
I think the writers are getting sloppy the second they wrote, okay, Transformers, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So
I think
there's
it's
this
just
kid,
them.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, no, try this point trying to get blood from a stone, right?
Yeah,
Just-
like I was watching it and I just, I remember being so interested in the first Transformers movie and then so excited for the second and third one. And
You get excited after the
I-
second one?
I just excited for Transformers movies.
Oh, okay.
And I enjoyed the first one for the quotability. Obviously, you and I quote a lot from that one. And the second one just kind of lost me, and I was hoping for the best for the third one. And then it's just pretty much gone downhill since the second one. And it's really hard to get my hopes up for this one because I don't know why. I don't know why they're making this movie. And if this turns into more prequel movies for other Transformers, that's just not going to be good for anyone.
No. No, well, this one. Like,
Yeah,
the best parts of the trailer were the burning back snippets from the first movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And ending with Rick Astley. Like, other than that, completely forgettable trailer.
Absolutely.
And then we
But
had...
there was also a good trailer that dropped.
Which one? There's several.
The Lego one. The second one.
Lego Movie 2, the second part.
Yeah. I'm excited. I loved the first movie. I think they just crush it with everything Lego related. I never saw Lego Ninjago, yeah, but I was never into it. But all of the Lego Batman and all that kind of stuff, very good movies, very well done, and I'm excited for this second part.
I will admit that I had a very good laugh when the spaceship shows up to Intergalactic.
Yeah,
and it's all like, oh, it's got like a sick beat, and he just starts dancing.
Yeah,
everyone's like terrified, and he's just like,
it's hard not to dance to that,
right? It's a great pull. We had Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yep,
I know you're a big fan of the original.
I've never actually seen it, but I'm tempted. It looks.
It's good. The first Wreck-It Ralph was so good, and it did not get its due award wise because it came out the same year as Brave, and Brave kind of
knocked
stole
it out of the park.
Pretty much.
Wreck-It Ralph is DreamWorks, right?
No, it's Disney. Straight up Disney.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not Pixar or anything. It's just Disney. But
Disney animation.
That's weird.
It was really good. And Ryan, if you ever played video games growing up, I think you'd enjoy it. There's just a lot of little.
No, he's a type. He's a bookworm.
He's not a gamer. But
no video games, no masturbating. He was all about books.
There's a lot of little pulls from old NES games and arcade games and stuff like that. And it was, that part was great. The story I thought was really good too. The second one looks like they're gonna. I don't know. I have a feeling it's
synergy with this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I think it'll still be good. And then
the internet.
Did you see the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse trailer?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Or something like that. In the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse.
Tell us how you really feel, Ryan.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's like Spider goes to spider shopping. I don't know. It's too much.
That's a sequel.
I thought it looked great. I think the animation looks awesome, and I'm excited to check out their story.
The one part I didn't understand in it was when we established that it's an alternate universe, things are slightly askew. There was dialogue bubbles for like one part of the trailer, and
I
then never
know.
seen again the rest.
Like where he's walking down the street and it just shows.
Yeah, it's like it's like an internal monologue, and I'm like, what? And then they have it never show up later. I was a little confused by that, but I'm
I
sure
wonder if that's there's that might just be one of the alternate universes
Coca-Cola spelled with K's.
Like that could just be one of the universes where everyone's thoughts or words or whatever actions are like closed captioned for everyone else,
for the hearing impaired.
Exactly. So I'm pretty excited for that one. I think it like visually it looks great. But
yeah, and I think it's by the same guys that did the first Lego movie too, if I'm not mistaken. At least directing. I don't know if they wrote it because the humor doesn't seem like to be the same as
no.
But
yeah, we'll get a taste of Miles Morales as Spidey, or as one of the Spideys.
Spider-Man.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
It's the worst title ever.
Well, there's been bad ones. Dark of the Moon. Just putting it out there.
What else dropped? There was those were the
all animated. You know, 30-year-olds talking about animated movies. I think maybe that's the problem.
I don't think it's a problem.
All right, cool. But I know some people are having problems with the news that Mr. Andrew Lincoln, Rick Grimes, is quitting The Walking Dead after next season. There is legitimately a fan petition requesting him to stay. So they are petitioning the actor from leaving the show. I don't know how.
He's going to give them a big middle finger and get out of
Excuse me, Mr. Lincoln, there's about 3 million people that are demanding that you stay on the program. Well, I guess I got to stay now.
See you later.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not going to. Well, it makes sense. Like, I don't know what more you can do with Rick now that Coral. And, but still, like,
what are we in now? Season? We talked about this in like first.
I think it just happened, and I've only seen end of season 7, so just saying.
So yeah, season 9 will be the upcoming season, and that should be the end. Well, like, don't forget, this guy's an English actor with his family living overseas, right? So he's coming to Atlanta, spending a good chunk of the year filming, and then having to commute back, right?
For a decade.
And yeah, exactly. So yeah, it makes sense. Again, there's not much. I think if this is the end of him, I don't know why you don't just end the show at the same time.
Yeah. Like, who are you going to have take over?
Daryl. That's the plan.
Really? Well, yeah, that makes sense too, except I feel like he was, I mean, it was a nice gem they got after the first season that so many people enjoyed his character and they were able to kind of run with it. Yeah. But again, like every character that's still there from the first 2-3 seasons, like how
I think there at this point, not counting Lenny James, Morgan, who was in like the first episode, who's now back on the program. I think literally it's Daryl, Rick, and Carol are like the only ones from the first season that are left.
Is Carol the bald one?
Yeah, well, she got hair now.
She got hair. And then everyone else is either died off, killed, or zombified. Did. Not zombie, but
did.
High turnover rate show.
Yeah,
right.
Keeps the actors' contracts kind of cheap.
It's a tough life living in a apocalyptic world.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones like strategy to
what has like they've deviated from the books a lot. Like when I read up to like Andrea, she died in season 3, but she was still around.
In the comics or whatever?
In the comics, yeah. And Carl's around, like Lori died. Coral. Like Judith died in the books, but she's around in the show. Like it's It's weird, but
But
Oh,
the
for
main
example-
story is pretty much the same, or it's just
yeah,
they
like
kind of they just replace
they've
characters.
deviated where they could, but like the big arcs they've adapted, like the Negan stuff and
Yeah.
I like
the
Negan.
Hunters. Jeffrey D. Morgan is great.
He's awesome.
I thoroughly enjoyed him in The Watchmen as the comedian.
Yeah.
I liked him. I think he was in Supernatural. I think is where I know him from. He was good in that.
Oh, you WB watching mofo.
The C dub.
The CW, yeah. Oh, so I just rewatching The Mist. I don't know if anyone's seen that one. The Thomas Jane
Stephen
movie.
King one.
Yes, sir. Where there's this mist and there's something in said
Thanks.
mist.
God, spoiler alert.
But the funny thing is, Carol, Andrea, and
Wait, Carol or
Dale.
Coral?
Carol.
Carol or Coral?
Carol. Carol, Andrea, and Dale from The Walking Dead are all in that movie, which Frank Darabont did before he did that show.
Which one is Dale? The old guy?
Yeah.
Older-ish
The
guy?
one that Coral Reef. He was.
Yeah, didn't shoot that zombie. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yes. I
get
remember.
us just ripped open like a bag of chips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good times.
they're all in that movie.
What the? This is only half full. Days.
That is said like the prices are going up, the bags are staying the same, but the contents inside are getting smaller for chips.
Or their bags are staying the same, but the labeling says supersized, and then they make smaller versions of those bags.
Yeah, I don't know who in the right mind thinks a half a bag of chips is good for a family. Because I eat a half bag of chips myself.
By myself.
All by myself, all by my lonesome.
It's worth it.
Yeah, so I back to The Mist thing. I think that's a very good movie. I personally. That bitch was everything.
I'm assuming it's
The ending's the
different
best
than
part of the whole
fog.
The Mist
Yes,
too.
this is-
The fog.
The Mist
This
too.
is
The fog.
The
I was
haze.
confused with Sierra Mist. No, the ending of this movie is messed up. If no one cares to see it, I can tell you.
I'll have-
happens.
I will probably watch it this week if I have some time. We can discuss
Watch it.
next week.
Watch it. It's good.
Watch
Like,
it. The
Frank
Mist.
Darabont, I think, is the only one, with the exception of the new It, that has really done justice to Stephen King's adaptations. Because he did Shawshank, Green Mile,
Yes.
and The Mist.
Shawshank was good.
So good.
I wish we had TBS so I could watch it three times on the weekend. Need your 3 chances to watch.
Or you could just have it and watch it whenever you want.
No, I need the commercials.
It's not the same without commercials.
I can't watch a movie with commercials. The other day, the last week, I think, Waterboy was on Much.
Yes, that's right.
So, no, I did not watch it. I threw it on, I think I was on Sunday, watched it right through. Outside of the characters being ridiculous over the top, that is a very plausible movie in terms of storyline.
Of like an actual water boy
who's just
jumping
water
on the
boy
team.
who exactly like from the start to finish, that movie, with the exception of the over the top characters, is a very plausible, down to earth story.
Well, don't you always hear
He's not like
about,
overly skilled. He's not like the guy like like a rookie of the year. He's got this weird abnormality that makes him play football well. He's
Yeah.
just a guy who got picked on and used his rage to make it to the football team, and then win the championship.
But not always, I guess, but randomly. A goalie in hockey gets injured, so then the trainer has to just throw the pads on and jump on. Like it's a very similar story.
Yeah.
Like if the trainer kind of goes and steals the show, and then they give him another chance, and then all of a sudden they sign him on, and he's a goalie. That's the movie. That's Waterboy.
Yeah. You hear a lot of guys in the NFL or in the NHL that went undrafted, right? That just came out of nowhere and made the team and are playing like
Cinderella boy.
yeah, I don't know where. Like Tim Thomas. Like
That's
he got to start late in his 30s.
He did the best. Like he did a lot with the short amount of time he actually was kind of in the spotlight.
Yeah. So see, there you go. Plausible
It
story.
is plausible.
Don't just make this stuff up, man. Well, kind of did,
Sometimes.
but um, WWDC this week.
Yep.
Did you read any of that stuff? I found none of it worth a damn.
I
Personally.
watched most of the keynote after I got home from work, so I was a little late on it. No. There's just so much stuff that they were very excited about. I was talking to someone about it, and it was basically there's a lot of so every year, Android steals something from iOS, iOS steals something from Android. It goes back and forth. This year, it seems like iOS stole some stuff, or just finally implemented. Not stole, because it definitely is just something that makes sense. And the main thing I think is they're going to actually stack their notifications. So instead of like Cory, if I send you 5 text messages, you'll see 5 separate notifications for it. Now it'll just kind of stack into one. You can tap on it to expand it, see all the messages. It's just going to be a cleaner lock screen, a cleaner kind of notification area. So what Android's been doing since, pretty much the beginning, so 10 years ago. The fact that it's taken this long is weird. I don't know what they thought they were kind of waiting for, or like how to perfect it kind of thing. But since then, Android has just made notifications better and better and better. And now you can, reply right from the notification. You don't even have to go into the app and stuff. The other kind of cool things, I guess, I think the coolest thing they actually did was they're kind of jumping into augmented reality a lot and kind of going all in on it. And they're going to be able to do 2 people looking at the same augmented reality and seeing the same sort of thing in different spaces. It's hard to explain kind of thing, but the demo is really cool. It's funny watching people kind of around a table with nothing on it, but they have their iPads and they're playing
A board game or
like
something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They're playing
I've
like
seen
a
that.
slingshot game, and so it's pretty cool that way. Some new emojis, tongue
course,
detection.
that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that it'll detect your tongue.
Oh, good.
The watch is now going to have a walkie-talkie function, which is pretty. It could be cool. Okay, chill out. And and then the standard. I think one of the other kind of big announcements and kind of a huge knock to Android was, so usually every time they throw out an update, they go back like 4 or 5 years worth of devices will get that update, and then the next year the last one on the list will get the update. This year, whatever got iOS 11 is also going to get iOS 12, and they did a lot of stuff in the background to kind of make older devices run like better on it. That'll be fine. Nothing really crazy new, and they didn't announce any hardware, so I was like pretty meh on the whole thing. Dark mode on the new Mac OS, so that's cool.
I guess.
Not well, it would be cool if they brought it to phones. It probably
Why
will
do that,
eventually,
right?
but what's that?
This is why I do that, right?
Yeah, without
One of what people
jailbreaking.
use the most.
But yeah, I was interested, but I nothing really came out of it that I was very excited about. Whereas there's a few things that came out of Google's I/O that I was much more excited about. That's all.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all.
Well, Ryan, do you have anything? Otherwise, I have this little news story to wrap
I'm
things
pretty
up.
quiet today, so you go ahead, Core. I've got
Oh,
nothing.
appreciate the
Basketball's
gesture
over.
there. It was over the day they announced Cleveland versus Golden State.
Yeah.
Let's be serious. So this is not like a ha 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 story or anything like that, but no, it's not one of those.
So no,
Oh.
sorry. I missed
But
it.
what I found amazing is this guy's just nonchalant, casual feel to what happened here. So, at Goat Island Lodge in south of Darwin, in the middle of a crocodile-infested Adelaide River. This is in Florida. Guests had gathered to watch Pippa, perform her favorite trick, running at Casey the crocodile to scare her back into the river. But to the alarm of those looking on, including owner Kai Hansen, Pippa ran straight at Casey's head, and the croc did what crocs do. Now,
Oh no!
this guy's comments are what really make this story. So, as Mr. Hansen conceded, it was something that had a high probability of happening sometime. Mr. Hansen moved to this island 15 years ago to escape city life, living amongst a gaggle of dogs, birds, and crocodiles, while Pup Hot Dog was famous for barking along to the tunes of harmonica. Pippa was known as the dumb blonde, quickly becoming known for chasing the crocodile of more than 100 times her weight into the river. So the resident of Goat Island, surrounded on all sides by Adelaide River, said he doesn't blame the croc for eating his dog. So there's the quote: "You will see things that you do not believe are possible. Take my word for it. It's unbelievable that this 6-7 kilo dog attacks a 300 kilo crocodile." Mr. Hansen said he was really sad and had not watched the video of. There's a video because people obviously were watching all this, but he did not think it was fair to blame the crocodile. She's just doing something. She's not doing something wrong. She's just doing what crocs do. In the early days, she actually had a go at me a couple times. These days, I just throw food out from the top because we're not allowed going down there. This is a little terrier, should not do things like that. But should I stop her? I don't know. She got away with it for 10 years. Mr. Hansen said he would get a new dog and would definitely consider not letting it chase crocodiles.
You live, you learn.
Yeah. Well,
so
not the dog.
I think that's
Casey
the
the
most.
crocodile, right?
In a world where we point fingers and blame everyone, I think this is one of the more tame scenarios I think I've seen in a long time.
Guys, just like, you've been pissing that crocodile off for 15 years. Like, she had enough.
And the guy's just like, yeah, the crocodile
Makes sense.
makes sense. you don't see me complaining.
It was her or me, guys. Like, that's all I can say. So yeah, I just, again, he had this dog for what, 10 years. And well,
it's a pretty good run of chasing down crocodiles, though.
I mean, when you're due, you're
This
due.
little terrier, and with a whole crowd of onlookers with their cameras out, and watch, guys, watch. She's gonna chase this croc, and then just not today.
Yeah. No.
Didn't happen.
Back away, not today.
Amazing.
So yeah, that was. Here's to Pippa. She had a good run.
Part one up for Pippa.
And I think, in life, we all chase our own crocodiles. Figuratively.
Here we go.
Some days we get the croc. Some day the croc gets you.
I've been known to chase a few crocodiles in my day.
Not the dragon though. Don't ever chase the dragon.
Oh, no, that's for after dark.
That's
That's a closet closed discussion.
the last episode we ever do.
The
The last episode of this podcast we ever do, Ryan, you have to get up, close your closet door, and turn the lights off.
And start talking real shit.
Sorry, we're closed. And then all right.
That's it for
That's
today. Cool.
That's it for this week. That's all for Open Collar. For Fischel Sheth, Ryan Karkner, this is Cory Bullis reminding you to keep it casual.